my channel again today. My name is Dami and I am your relationship coach here to give you another relationship advice. And today I'll be talking to you about tips to avoid getting played. Yeah, but before I get right into it, please be sure that you're subscribed to my channel. It doesn't cost a penny. Share this video with your friends and with your loved ones. Like this video. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments. Let me know if you've ever been played before. Let me know how you handled it. Okay, so getting right into it. Tips to avoid getting played. Listen, I know that nobody likes getting played. Yeah, nobody likes getting played. I'm so sorry. It is so unfortunate that some people get played, and I know that it can be one of the worst feelings, or worst experience to get played. You're in a relationship with somebody and you think that everything is going well, you think that this person loves you, you think that you love this person, and all of a sudden the person just turns out to be playing you. Turns out they were wasting your time, they were wasting your life, they were only in for what they could get out of you. They were only in that relationship for all the benefit that they can get from you, only to end up hurting you, only to end up in a dead end relationship that is going nowhere, that is headed nowhere. And it is so sad because one horrible situation that is not properly healed from can create circle and circle of hurt people. Because you see, hurt people will definitely hurt other people. But there is how to avoid this situation. There is how to avoid all of these things from happening. So that is what I will be discussing with you in this video. So the number one tip to avoid getting played is address all red flags. Yeah, listen, one of the mistakes that people make in relationships is not speaking up about things, rationalizing past everything that they see that is an issue of concern to them and refusing to speak about it. Listen, if you're going to avoid getting played in that relationship that you are currently in right now, you have to be able to address all the red flags. If you're seeing something that is a concern to you, you must be willing to say something about it. You must be willing to point it out to the other person in a calm and loving manner. So I've seen people in relationships where they are afraid of digging into a particular thing that is of huge issue to them, but they are willing to speak about it because they are like, I'm afraid of what this person is going to say about it. I am afraid of how this person is going to react to it. But listen, you have to be willing to tell them about it and see if they are willing to correct it or not. Because if you are rationalizing past everything that you see without speaking about it, that in itself is setting you up to being played. If you are not saying anything about it, then they feel like you're okay with whatever is happening. They feel like you're okay with how they are treating you. And if you're willing to speak about it, then that's not funny. Again, just to be clear, I am not somebody to tell you to opt out of a relationship just because you're seeing a red flag. No, the right approach is when you see a red flag, you address it, you call the attention of your partner to it so that it can be corrected. And mind you, you call their attention to it in a calm and loving manner and address the issue, okay? If they are willing to correct it, fine. But if they are willing to correct it, then you will know that this is a sign for you to now move forward. But not with them, okay? So please, if you're seeing any red flag in your relationship right now, don't rationalize past it. Don't ignore it. Don't make excuses for it. Speak up about it. Talk to your partner about it. Because if you don't, you are creating an even bigger problem. Because that in itself is a disaster and you're setting yourself up for being played. Okay? So the number two tip to avoid getting played is be honest and open about your desires and your needs. Okay, listen, one of the mistakes people make again in relationships is not being open enough to fully express themselves, not expressing their desires and the things that they need in that relationship. Listen, the fact that somebody is not meeting your need in a relationship doesn't mean that person is a horrible person or that they're bad people. No, it could be that they want to love you, but they simply do not know how. They don't know how you want to be loved. They don't know how you want to receive love. And so they cannot give it to you in the way that you need. At best, what they can do for you is to give you love in the way that they want to receive it, in the way that they feel like, oh, this is how you should want to, or maybe want to receive love. But your partner is not a robot that you can program and make it do whatsoever you want it to do. Your partner is neither a psychic. They can't know your mind. They can't know what is going on in your mind. They don't know what you need if you don't tell them. So you have to be willing to open up to your partner and talk to them about your needs and your desires, what you would like them to do for you, how you want to be loved. Because if you don't communicate these things, they will not know. Yeah, I'm sorry, they will not know. Because some of you are like, oh, this is a full-grown adult, so I think that he should know better. I think that she should know better. No, they don't. No, they don't. Not everybody is the same. Every one of us are not the same. We didn't grow up the same way. We do not have the same background. We do not have the same experiences. I mean, some people grow up in their house. That in a way that when they wake up in the morning, they don't greet themselves. They just move on with life like that. Some people greet themselves, when they wake up in the morning, they say good morning. Some people don't. They just go on with life like that. So just imagine these two people come together and they say that they want to have a relationship. Jesus. It's not going to be fun. So you have to be willing to communicate these things. Okay, I want you to greet me in the morning. I want us to greet ourselves in the morning when we wake up. Simple. They don't know. Just imagine somebody that grew up not greeting anybody when they wake up. They feel like that's their normal because everybody feels like their reality is everybody's reality. And it is not so. And this is why communication is very essential in every relationship, because you are saddled with the responsibility of providing them this information. Yeah, you have to be willing to tell them these things, because you see, they don't know. They simply don't know. And because they don't know you, they have to learn you, and you have to help them learn you. Okay? When you're honest about how you want to be loved, you'll be able to see clearer if they are serious about you or if they are simply playing games with you. Okay? Listen, one of the clearest ways to know if somebody is serious about you is you telling them about your needs and your desires and see how they handle that. So when you tell them that, when you communicate that to them, how are they handling it? Because if they are really serious about you, okay, they're going to make effort to work on it and correct the issue. But if somebody is just playing you, the person is going to dismiss whatever you have to say. They are going to dismiss your feelings. They are not going to do anything about it because they're simply playing you. But the person who genuinely loves and cares about you is going to look for ways to correct and address your concerns. Okay, is going to look for ways to pour into you in the way that you are asking for, and then the ways that you need. Okay, is going to do everything to want to be with you because he wants to have a real relationship with you. But listen, if you are unwilling to be honest about your desires, then you will never be able to see these things. You'll never be able to know if this person is serious about you or if this person is simply playing you. And listen, if you cannot even talk to that person, I don't know why you are still with them. If you cannot talk to your partner, then don't have a relationship with them. You cannot be afraid of opening up to the person you claim to love. You cannot be afraid of telling them your true needs and desires. If you are afraid to tell them so, why be with them if you cannot talk to them? I don't see why. I don't see why. Why choose to be in a relationship with somebody you're afraid of? Why? Why? It's not normal. Please, if you cannot talk to somebody, simply do not have a relationship with them. Because you cannot successfully have an honest conversation with them if you're afraid to tell them the way you want to be loved and the way you want them to pour into you. Okay? So please be open and willing to discuss the things that you need and desire. Alright? So number 3 tip to avoid getting played is never be afraid to ask questions. Okay? Now, don't let your questions be about red flags. Don't let all your questions be about red flag. Okay? So if you have questions, if you have something that you're curious about in the relationship, simply ask your partner. If you want clarity on where the relationship is headed, simply ask them. What is the intention of this relationship? Where are we headed? What is the direction? What exactly is going on? If you have concerns, if you have any questions at all, ask them questions. Because you see, if you don't ask, you will not know. You will not get answers if you don't ask. Okay? So if you are curious about anything, if you have concerns, anything whatsoever, ask your partner. Because you see, a lot of people get caught up and get played in relationships because they don't hold the other person accountable to answering their questions and providing them with clarity that they need on where they stand in the relationship. They don't want to ask this person simply because they're afraid that the person is going to run away. Like the person is going to feel overwhelmed. The person is going to feel like, oh, you are attacking me. The person is going to feel like whatsoever. But listen, if you don't ask, you will never know these things if you don't ask. Because really, you need to ask all the questions that you have in your head. Ask them all the questions that you have in your head. Because if you don't ask, you will never know. And at the end of the day, you'll find out that the things that are important to you are not even important to the other person. Ask them what their values are. Ask them what their beliefs are. Ask them what their non-negotiables are. Because if you don't ask them, you will find out that the things that are important to you are not important to them. And that is going to be a clash of interest, a huge one. So please never be afraid of asking this person question. Don't be afraid that they are going to feel overwhelmed, that they are going to run away, that you are going to lose them. What is that? No, the person who is genuinely involved with you, who is serious with you and genuinely cares about you, will be willing to answer all of your questions. They will not feel pressured. Okay, if you are asking them in a calm and loving manner, they will not feel pressured. They will be willing to answer all your questions and they will be willing to provide clarity to all of the concerns that you have in your head. But if you are unwilling to do these things, you are setting yourself up to be played. Okay, so ask your questions. Ask all the questions that you have in your head. And again, I know that some of you don't want to lose this person. I know, right? But it is better to lose them early than to be miserable with them. Because at the end of the day, you're going to feel stuck and frustrated when you finally get played. You don't want to be in that space. You don't want to experience this thing at all. And when you finally ask your questions, you realize that the person who genuinely cares about you is willing to provide you with the clarity that you need. But the person who is unserious with you, who is playing you, is going to dismiss what you're saying. They are going to dismiss your questions. They are going to deflect. They are going to have an issue with you bringing up all those things and asking them all those questions. Okay? But nevertheless, do not be afraid of asking your questions. Ask your questions. If they are dismissing you, then that will be a sign that they now have to go. Okay? So the next tip to avoid getting played is set a deadline. Yeah, I know some of you are going to roll your eyes right now and say, damn me, why are you going too far? I mean, if we're trying to avoid getting played, let's not play ourselves. Yeah, I am going this far because of you. Because I don't want you to get played. So please set a deadline. When you're in a relationship with somebody, there has to be a deadline. There has to be an intention. So what is the intention of this relationship? What direction is this relationship headed? Does this relationship even have a vision? Because if a relationship does not have a clear-cut direction, if it does not have an intention, then there are going to be questions and concerns. Okay, ones that I really do not want you to have. So when you're starting a relationship, there has to be a deadline. There has to be, okay, now you have spent 2 years with this person and you both or one of you don't even know where this relationship is headed. Isn't that chaotic? Very chaotic. Because you see, it doesn't take forever to know, to figure out who you want to do forever with. It doesn't take 10 years, it doesn't take 5 years, it doesn't take 7 years. But now you have spent let me go get that. You have spent 5 years with this lady and she still doesn't want to be married to you. She doesn't know if she wants to spend her life with you or not. We have spent 2 years with this guy and he still doesn't know if you are the one she wants. Some of you are in relationships right now where you are ready for marriage, but the other person is not ready for marriage and they have been dragging you on for 2 good years. And you're still there. Some of you are in relationships right now when you're ready for marriage, but the other person is not anywhere near ready for marriage and they have been dragging you on for 2 years, some of you for 5 years, and some of you for 7 years, and you are still there. They have been dragging you on for that long and you are still there with them. What are you doing? What are you doing to yourself? This is the reason why some guys propose to ladies and get turned down, because from the very beginning there was no intention. From the very beginning there was no direction, no vision. There was nowhere the relationship was headed. So you now propose, she says no, because you never discussed this, you never made your intention known, but you just successfully wasted your time, which is the same thing as your life. Okay, please, there has to be an intention and there has to be a deadline. You can't keep seeing how it goes. You can't keep going with the flow, whether you're a male or a female, men or women, whether you're a man or a woman. Please, there has to be a deadline. There has to be an intention. If the other person does not want what you want, they don't want to take it a step further after spending so much time with you, because you see, really it doesn't take that long for you to know who you want to spend your life with. It doesn't take 5 years. No, the heart knows what it wants. You know what you want. So please, if you don't want to get played, then you have to set a deadline. Okay, you have to ask them what their intention for the relationship is. Both of you have to discuss what your intentions are. And if they match, if they align, fine, you can move forward with the relationship. But if they do not, then you want to avoid getting played. So the next tip to avoid being played is you need to heal. Yeah, you already know by now, if you've been watching my video for a while now, you already know that I am all about healing, because healing is a huge part of the puzzle if you're going to avoid being played. Because if you are not healed, it's like you trying to see the world through a broken glass. Your vision is going to be blurry, it's not going to be clear, it's not going to be straight, it's just going to be somehow. So you need to heal, because if you don't heal, if you don't properly take time to heal, you're going to attract the wrong person in your life, and you don't want to be with somebody who doesn't belong in your life. You don't want to be unhealthily attached to somebody who shouldn't even be in your life. Because you see, I always liken somebody who has not healed to somebody who is sick. When you're sick, you're taken to the hospital, you're being nursed by a nurse, they're taking care of you, and then you get attached to the nurse because the person makes you feel better, they makes you feel well. But when you get well, you just have to get well to realize this. When you get well, you want to get out of the hospital. You hate the hospital smell. You don't want to be there again. You want to get discharged. It is the same thing when you eventually get healed. You realize that this person shouldn't be in your life. You realize that you don't even like anything about this person and you don't want them anywhere around your life. So if you are not healed, you are most likely going to choose the wrong person who is now going to play you because you're still holding on to your past hurt, you're still holding on to your trauma, and you have not healed from them. And so, but when you get healed, you're going to be given the privilege of sight without defects. You're going to be able to see correctly, see better, see wider, see the things that you're supposed to avoid, see the things that you don't want to attract in a person. But if you don't heal, if you are not healed, then you're most likely going to get played, because you're going to be unhealthily attached to the wrong person. And you see, when you have healed, you are able to love yourself enough not to entertain somebody that does not belong in your life. Okay? Listen, you need to heal to avoid getting played. Because when you are healed, you are approaching a relationship from a place of wholeness. And that is exactly what you need. And that is why you need to read my book titled Healing from Heartbreak. It is a step-by-step guide to help you from brokenness to wholeness, that will help you heal from heartbreak. And the book is free. You can get it for free on Seller. I have put the link rather in the description to this video. Okay, so go get the book, read it, and let me know what you think about it. Okay, so the last tip to avoid getting played is pray about that relationship. Yeah, and I know that some of you are going to roll your eyes and say that, Damn, what are you saying again? Yeah, I'm going to say it though. Pray about that relationship, because you see, players, whether it's a male player or a female player, I want you to know that players know the rules of the game. Okay, they know all these things, and it will shock you to know that they are going to watch this video, get all the information that I just gave to you in this video. They are going to use it, because it is possible that a player is doing all of these things right. You ask all the questions they need, and you ask all the questions that you need rather, and they give it to you. Plain and simple. You communicate your desires to them. They are doing everything you want them to do. They are loving you the same way you want to be loved, the way you want to be poured into. They are doing all of that to you. But they are still playing you. They can do all of these things that I just discussed. They can do them right and still be playing you. Yeah, that's why you should fear people. Fear God rather, not fear people. Fear God. So this is why you need to pray about it, because they know the rules of the game. They can still find their way around all these things. But it is only God that can show you what human beings are trying to hide from you. Okay, so you must pray about this relationship. Pray about this relationship. Ask God, is this person the right person for me? Is this the kind of relationship I should be in? Is this the kind of person that I should be entertaining in my life? God, is this person playing me? Is this person genuinely involved with me? Does this person genuinely care about me? Okay, it is only God. Again, it's only God that can show you what human beings are hiding from you, because the heart of man is desperately wicked. So please pray. I can never overemphasize the power of prayer. So please pray and pray again. Okay, I hope this video helps you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like this video and share with your loved ones. And of course, let me know what you think about this video in the comment. Let me know if you have ever been played and how you handled it. Let me know what you think about this video. Alright, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.